Hello and welcome to Perspectives. Investments in Pakistan. We've done various shows on this, but I got a lot of mails saying that I keep talking about investment opportunities, the potential of doing investments in Pakistan, but we never talk about the law and order situation. That's not what we're talking about again today. I'd like to just briefly mention, if we want to talk about the reasons not to do something, there's a huge list. It's an ongoing list. It's a never-ending list. But if I look at the reasons why not to do something in any country, I could make an endless list. If you want me to make an endless list about why not do business in France, there's no limit. I can even go and make a list for Singapore. Why not do business there? It's one of the most favorable countries for doing business, but you can find reasons not to do things there. Pakistan has a law and order situation, maybe worse than most countries in the world, but still, the environment is ripe for making money, for doing businesses, and for young entrepreneurship. Today, a very interesting topic in discussion is about young entrepreneurs. Before I tell you about the topic, let me introduce my guests. Mr. Mir Mohammad Ali Khan, a private investor, an investment banker, who's after many years made Pakistan his home. Thank you once again for being here. On my left, we have Mr. Bashartullah, who's the CIO of Askari Investment. Thank you very much, sir. And on my far left, Mr. Ahmed Ateeq, who's the CEO of Primus Investment Management. Thank you very much for being here. And very important two guests who are joining us on Skype from Sukkur, the students of IBA Sukkur, and they were introduced to me by Mr. Mohammad Ali Khan here. And I'd like to request you to actually tell us why you've chosen these two students. Well, let me just welcome the students first. We have Mr. Rasool and Sanjay Kumar Daira from Sukkur on Skype. Welcome both of you for joining us on the show. Thank you. Sir, why these two?
We have been doing, first of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank your team, everybody behind the show that I've been dealing with, and I realize how much effort it takes to put a show together.
5 people together.
Oh, God. So I just wanted to say that. It took me a few shows to realize that. Having said that, we have been doing series of shows on how to bring investments into Pakistan. We covered everything from macroeconomics to international liquidity, what is there in the world to be had, and the policies that we need to make to attract investments into Pakistan. But recently, I had a chance last week to be one of the judges in this entrepreneurial invention show called Invent, which was held at IBA. Faisal, I was so pleasantly surprised to see these young entrepreneurs from all over Pakistan coming up with wonderful ideas. You know, there was on Wall Street in the mid-90s, you had so many companies coming up from Silicon Valley, and we had to pick and choose. When I moved here, I started thinking, are there no ideas? Are the young people not interested in becoming entrepreneurs in Pakistan? All the way from Malakand University to Sukkur. The reason I have brought these kids from Sukkur is because we like to think like the typical Pakistani sometimes attitude is the urban superiority complex, that we, the Karachiites or the Lahoris or whatever, have this monopoly on ideas, which is absolutely wrong. So these kids, I didn't have the chance to bring Malakand people because there were some technical issues, but they have come up with such a good business model for
we'll ask them in a moment about their model, but I just want to mention here, I was reading just this afternoon that Singapore has obviously got a manpower issue. They import manpower tremendously. But now they were trying to bring in regulation, or at least somehow enforce that companies should hire better people to get more productivity from X number of people, because they've got space issues as well. Now, when you talk about Pakistan, we, alhamdulillah, have zero shortage of highly capable people. Now, this is where I would like to come to you and start with that before we go to the two young gentlemen in Sukkur. We talk about investment in all kinds of things, in gas and power and wind, but we hardly ever talk about investing in people here. Yeah. We do not see that as an investment. We do not see that to harness these young people who travel all over the world to serve the world, if we just bring opportunities here to them, set up high-tech industry for them, they could serve phenomenally well?
First of all, just to begin with, like we Pakistani, as far as like the disposable income of any family is concerned, we spend a huge sum of money depending on their whatever they earn. So they spend on education.
Sure.
And the basic thing is to put them in a position so that they can have a good living and earning capability. So mostly the focus has been on traditional areas, like you have to get a job and do this and that. So there is no formal training as far as like grooming people towards doing their own business. And this is something like which is happening.
We were sort of risk averse.
Yeah, we want to play. We want to play safe.
Yeah.
Just go and get a job, and whatever you are earning, just satisfy yourself with that.
Get married.
Yeah, that. So nowadays, if you look at the global trends since 2008, and if you look at even the developed economies, now the trend is totally changing and shifting. And there have been a number of reports. I've read in a number of books also. So this thing is being discussed this time, like people should be going for like their own business, especially starting from whenever they complete their education. Why not to have your own business when you can translate your whatever you have learned and deploy that in something meaningful and earn for yourself.
Sure.
So that trend is taking place throughout the world. In the developed countries and especially in the developing economies where there are more opportunities. You can start with anything. Especially in Pakistan, like when we are talking about like a region like Sukkur or any rural area, and when we talk about the general opportunity, our agro-based industry, it has not been touched so far. We are just at the same basic level like basic agriculture, produce it and sell it. No value addition in Pakistan so far. Even if we compare ourselves with India, our value addition rate has been like dismally low. And major investment worldwide is taking place on value addition on agri sector. The basic reason because that's where our competitive advantage is. Anyone living in near that locality, they can start with so many businesses related to whatever is being produced in that locality. And that can be converted into something very meaningful instead of looking for a job.
Food engineering. Because food engineering is a subject these days in university.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. So there could be like one thing which is missing is that neither any of our education institution is grooming our kids or young generation for to make them ready and start these opportunities. So they are not trained. If those things are being taught to them, okay, there is opportunity. You can start with this business. This is how you have to go about. How much financing is needed. And how much, like, if there is some government institutional support as far as like some basic initial investment.
I agree that there isn't much grooming happening, but I have another perspective. Just by the over-explosion of population, especially in the developing world like ourselves, which is too many. But the too many being the liability also creates a brand new opportunity, whereby when Bashar said that it's time for young entrepreneurship. Now there's so many small pockets of such large number of people that just simple entrepreneurship, like a small shop or a shoe shine shop or a high-tech software development opportunity, they're all there in the remotest parts of the country. And this internet has opened a brand new market for everyone. You can just go to the Elance and the freelancers and the guru.coms and just market yourself. So I understand, I agree that there hasn't been much investment in grooming people. But what I feel now is I think the investors are missing out on a great opportunity because they're a fantastic opportunity for us. Please.
Being past year judge for the event also, I have experienced the same what Mohammad Ali Saab said. And I suggest you one thing, and I raised this on different platforms as well. The problem is that our corporate institutions, we have a lot of corporates, a large corporate, small and medium corporates, they invest a large amount on the name of corporate social responsibility. Sure. But no one has ever thought to make one single fund for the, and of course the fund will return, give the money back. as an angel investor fund. We don't even have a single angel investor fund in Pakistan. Then how can you believe that? How can you think that these guys and the others can have the funds to basically launch their projects? A friend of mine was discussing the other day that his company was, probably you know also, is a small investor, was a small investor in Skype where these guys are on. And he said, I asked him, I mean, it's 2 years ago, that how you make money. He said, like, look, if we give investments, I mean, a small investments to 15 projects, if 3 fly, I mean, we get not only the our whole investment get back, but the payback is so huge that, I mean, you just cannot even believe. Prior to the show, I was telling about a success story of a Bangladeshi guy. I guess his name is Nasir, who is basically one of the founders of the YouTube. He got $65 million at the time of the exit. The problem here in Pakistan is that we, being as institutions, don't encourage these young kids to move forward. I mean, there is a dire need of the capital.
I think as a society, we
as a society, you can say.
It's not. Rasool Buksh, can you hear me? Rasool Buksh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear.
Could you bring the volume up, please? I can't hear them very well. Rasool Buksh, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, great. If you could speak a little louder, I can't hear you very well. Tell us about your project, and you've heard the discussion here. I'd like both of you to comment on, one, what your project is about, and then also tell me what challenges have you faced and what sort of support are you looking for?
Okay. Actually, project is produce silk cocoons that are produced from silkworm. Actually, we are importing the seed from China, that is through Lahore laboratory, and we provide all the inputs to the farmers in different villages. So what actually the farmers do, they nurture the worms at their home and convert all the silkworms into the cocoons. That is the final product which silk sells in the market. Now, those cocoons are sold at the price rupees 2,500, from which we share 20% to the farmers, which is 500 per kg. I mean, within 40 to 45 days, this whole process takes place, and farmers can earn up to 50 to 60,000 rupees from our business, having nothing in investment. So this idea actually came in my mind when I met one of the friend of my father. I visited him. So when I asked him about where he actually worked his life, so he said, I have been, in touch with this industry, sericulture. So when I asked him what is actually this about, so he said, this is the product. This is all about producing the silk. So I asked, where from the silk is produced? It's produced from the silkworm. It's a kind of worm that is, imported from other countries, also produced domestically. So at that time, one thing clicked in my mind. So I thought, why shouldn't I work on this? So from then onwards, I started working on this project, and Alhamdulillah, we have done it successfully. We have, first runner title in 2013. Now, the process has been carried out since last 6 months, and we have been having intensive research on this. We have been studying different articles regarding how businesses are different from what is being operated in other countries, and we are also looking for differences in terms of the operation. I mean, just like we have found out some productivity in Pakistan is lower than what is in India and China. So this is one of the operation lackness. So along with it, we are also thinking to expand our business. We want to open our own laboratory in Pakistan where we can be our own seeds, and this is how we want to get it out.
Okay, Sanjay, can you hear me? Can Sanjay hear me? Okay, Sanjay, maybe if you could just pick up the phone. Sanjay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sanjay, I'd like to ask you, from what it sounds, I think you guys are pretty much sure of what you're doing, and I don't think that there's any problem. Now, we assume that the corporate sector or maybe education hasn't groomed you enough, as we were talking earlier, or maybe the society or the environment hasn't given you enough opportunity. In your case, it doesn't look like that. One would assume sitting in Sukkur, you don't have too many opportunities, you don't have too much exposure, but looks like you've done, mashallah, quite well. So tell us, how is that working out, and what do you think the environment, I will not say can help you, but how can the investors and entrepreneurs take advantage from what you're doing and gain from it? Please talk.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, Sanjay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat that?
I think he couldn't hear me. We need to take a short break in a moment, but let's do that and let's solve this audio issue as well. What we'd like to get from them is, in your experience, where you've talked to them, what sort of issues are they facing?
The biggest issue they're facing in Pakistan, for any idea company, money is not enough. There's the biggest misconception that you hand over the money and all of a sudden that money is going to turn into a $5 billion company.
Right.
What nobody understands is from this stage that these kids are at, you need to mentor them. You need to teach them. I haven't had a chance to meet them twice, but the first thing I would like to do with them when I go back is to teach them how to pitch the idea, how to grow the company,
How to do the business.
how to do the business. Founders sometimes are not good CEOs and good managers, you know.
Sure, fair point.
And so the biggest problem that I have funded a lot of companies, Amazon.com was for Jeff Bezos, we gave them money right from the beginning. The biggest problem back then we used to hear is they had this emotional attachment to this idea. Nobody can do it better than me.
Entrepreneur 101, mistake 101.
I have seen so many companies fall on their faces because the founder and the CEO have this ego.
They can't let go.
They can't let go. So these are the things that, all these things that these kids need to do. If they can come this far sitting in Sukkur,
Exactly.
imagine if we gave them a structured way of going further. I think we are looking at so many companies in Pakistan.
I would like to add something here. It's just that we need to incubate. This is the basic thing. I mean, there are a lot of ideas, I mean, and a lot of young entrepreneurs would like to do stuff. Being as a society, I mean, the people who are basically who can act as a mentor or who are basically into the business, they need to basically incubate the idea. I mean, like you are saying that not necessarily these guys could be the best CEO or they could can proved as a good manager when they go on a large scale or something they would like to do. The first thing is what I believe in my personal experiences. I mean that in Pakistan, why I always emphasize on the banks and being as an investment banker. I mean, I spent 12 years in Pakistan, and the major constraint, I mean, a lot of ideas come and just die down on the table. The thing is, we need to set up something like when I talk about the angel investor fund, it's not basically a fund. It's just that the incubation. It's just an incubation.
It's not just the money, it's the pampering and the prodding.
Before that,
it's not the money.
they have to be taught how to be patient. The investors here. See, in Pakistan, we have this. In this capital markets, we have this
No.
idea of put $1 million today. 1 year will come up with $50 million.
No. The idea is different. I mean, my idea is.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying we have to teach the angel
I
investors.
need to interrupt. I'm sorry, just hold that thought. Let's take a very quick break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have the audio issue solved, and we'd start with Sanjay. And I'd like him to tell us what challenges and what opportunities they have there. Let's take a short break. Thank you for staying with us. We're watching Perspectives. We're going to this little discussion ourselves. Sanjay, can you hear me now?
Sir.
Okay. What I'd like you to tell me is what sort of opportunities are you offering to investors, and what challenges do you think you face?
Yes, sir. We do have a lot of opportunities here in this business. The first one is that we are offering a huge return on equity and return on investment.
through our financials, we have find out that we can offer 66% return on investment, and along with it, we have huge gap in the market. So we can cater up that market, and we can provide so many things to our investors. Along with it, there are many challenges with us, this business, and these are like we are new in this business, and we are just doing our study. We are in study, and along with it, there are some problems with the silkworm, and these problems are like there can be so many diseases, and for that definitely we have done research, and that research is all about like how can we mitigate with these challenges, and there are so many processes that can help us to compete with those challenges.
One small thing that he's missing out,
yeah,
is, which I think is very important, is that they were looking for 3 million rupees, $30,000 to invest.
Yes, sir.
But that investment generates income in 2 villages for 150 households. 150 villages.
And I think he's offering 56% return.
Yes.
That's a huge
It is
return.
huge. I mean, I just wanted to, I picked this team because I wanted you to see, and I may go back and invest in this or not. That's something.
Can I come along?
No. The social
No, what about
impact. Social impact. The social impact they're providing, 50,000 rupees income per household every 3 months. And these are the...
Okay, you know, I don't want to be good, okay? I don't care. I'm being devil's advocate. I don't care about your social footprint or whatever. I care about the money. I think it's a sheer business.
Absolutely business. Black and white making money.
If these kids are claiming 56%, fine. Maybe it's over
30%.
Thank you. Exactly.
25%. 15%.
Exactly.
How much mistakes can they make? Okay, 15%. I would run.
Because global revenue, you're lucky if you make 5-6% globally. So even if you're making 10,
and manage right, it will grow.
Okay, Rasool Buksh, I'd like to come to you, Rasool Buksh. The three Rasool Buksh, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there are three, and including myself, there are four people who are related to the business community. We are entrepreneurs in our own right. We have investment capability. What are you offering us, and to the show, to the world? Why should people contact you, and what sort of guaranteed return are you offering?
Okay, sir. In our USP, we offer two main things: quality at lower price. Quality at lower price. I mean, two basic components of our USP are higher quality at lower price. Now, if I compare it in numeric terms, the same quality cocoons that are being imported from China or India are sold in the market at 2,800 rupees per kg. Whereas Silk Hut produces the same quality and sells it at rupees 2,500 per kg. So the price difference will attract many of the customers. And you asked about another feature that we offer. So quality, that is, can be shown from the durability of the thread. It's known that lower quality cocoons breed lower of the thread, and it's not durable. I mean, you cannot make so many designs from that thread. So whereas what we produce can have variety of the designs in the cloth.
Okay, Ishaq?
Yeah, it's just going a bit on this side. In Pakistan, earlier when we started the discussion, about the high-tech business and about examples of the developed market, in case of Pakistan, we will have to do things like what these guys are doing right now, because it will be something like indigenous, like what we are doing. Pakistan won't be able to reach to that high technological level. It will take some time because we have to move from the initial stages, and the main opportunities will be coming from these areas. Like there will be something new, some new value addition will be someone will be doing, and it should make economic sense. Like in that way, like whatever your cost of production of doing something new, and your ability to sell that product or service at relatively higher price, and whatever return you will end up making, like whether it's 15% or 50%,
Sure.
it will be like whatever additional input you are adding into that business. So these are the things which we will be doing.
You said we will have to go this route because we can't achieve such high tech.
Yeah.
Maybe I grant that. But let's look at China. When they started, they had highly incapable labor, but they invested in mass production, and mass production to the extent that iPhones are made there. Everything, the most high tech, the most sophisticated products are made in China. They achieved that massive mass production capability. We have very skilled labor. We have very skilled people. So I would not see that as a shortcoming, but as a massive opportunity. Just the fact that silk cocoons. I mean, we've got massive agricultural capability. It's a good opportunity.
Opportunities. I mean, like even China took many years, like when they actually got into this technology development on its own. Mostly it was the imported technology which they were relying upon, and they were like putting these things together and selling it to the Western market again.
Hong Kong, they were all
so it takes some time.
In the beginning.
Even we have like one thing like on technology side, like with the thing which we were talking about, like we can fix things, but the point is producing something new, some technology, adding some value addition. We haven't yet got into that. Look at our engineering side, look at our scientific education.
We lack R&D.
But mostly our education still in Pakistan is like either people are going for MBAs, either they are for chartered accountancy, the traditional field like engineering and medicine there beside, but mostly the focus is still on these areas.
I disagree.
Okay. All right.
Go to GIK, go to NUST. I mean, you'll find the best, amazing, and they are so polished that they leave the college after graduation. They are being cherry-picked by foreign multinationals.
One thing is there, like mostly this related to software and high-tech things. Most of these kids will have to get jobs in the developed market. Very few get opportunities here in Pakistan. I've seen most of these people. They are going.
I can tell you one thing.
Some of them have even started business in Pakistan.
A lot of fantastic work happening.
They have like this software export business. They have come into from GIK Institute. They have started their business. But that also, like, you have to look at the family background of those kids, because most of them have been like initial investment have come from the family, and they started those business. But many of them have got opportunity abroad, and they've gone for higher education and started there. That is something.
Your father's your typical angel investor.
Yeah,
your dad writes your first check.
I'll tell you something very interesting. Take the example of Takhti. Do you know about Takhti?
No, I do not.
Takhti is a tablet PC. It's being developed by GIK students.
Oh yes, of course.
And it's sponsored by PAF.
Yes.
For the PAF employees.
Where does that stand? I actually completely forgot about that.
It
hasn't come out yet.
No,
it has come out.
It has. I mean, it's in the market.
But the economic viability of that project is still like, because there is no disclosure, full disclosure about that. It's the same thing, like they are importing stuff from China, it's putting it together and selling it.
Initially they are importing.
That's what Hong Kong and Japan and China did to start with.
This is what we have started with that thing. But the point is whether it's making economic returns, reasonable, sustainable.
7,000 bucks they are giving you a tablet PC.
What business to go into is absolutely different.
Look, absolutely.
Okay, we are talking about the different types, technology, advanced, not advanced, rural, urban. The whole idea is we need to promote these kids to get into business.
And here
simple.
It's
absolutely okay to take a risk. Absolutely okay to fall on your face. Don't expect I'm not saying be pessimistic, but if the first idea doesn't work out, no problem. Take a few steps back and then run a mile again. You know, I was just telling you during the break that people don't realize how easy it is to start businesses here. Just to start a tailor in New York City or London or Paris, it would take 7 months.
Difficult than setting up a company in Pakistan.
$15,000 in license fees.
Sure.
So we have more entrepreneurs.
If you have a food stall, you have to have a degree.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
is that right?
You have to go to university to be. It's like food something degree.
So all those people in Hong Kong and Malaysia,
they go to school for it. You can't have a food stall.
Oh,
Without
so
the
that
You have to be
certification
certified for
point
it.
even more that we have so many opportunities in Pakistan. Let's just jump into the pool, and people like you.
And there's money to be made.
This,
There's serious money to be made.
Achha, here I would like to say something. That's my dream.
Too much.
I like that expression.
Oh God!
Faisal
much
and
money
Ali,
to relate.
I would like to say something. It's one of my dreams, and I just discussed this on a lot of forums. For business, as we need a proper feasibility, whether the business is viable or not, then that the second phase comes where we need to pop in the money. Then what we need to do is precisely, if we need to incubate a lot of businesses at one platform. We need to get the small investors. They could be either even the corporates, the foundations, the educational foundations, and a lot of other. They should come forward and they promote. I mean, all these kids. I mean, they can invest. Investing $1 million, $2 million is not. Something for the large corporations in Pakistan. And then make a pool of fund, and that pool of fund is being supervised by a board of good investment bankers, a good social entrepreneurs, and the people. Then a proper fund will come.
Absolutely.
What you're talking about has been taken a step further. Like in Pakistan, but we haven't done it yet. Crowdfunding sites.
Yes, and it has to be done.
Somebody needs to put up a site for 2 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? You don't really need to do it here. You can with this beautiful thing called the internet.
Yeah.
You can just get funding from anywhere in the world.
That's what I was telling all the kids.
So here's an opportunity for us, not for them. They have the doors opening for them.
What a wonderful thing you said. You know, we think we have an upper hand on them. Let the gates open. Just tell them. I was telling these kids in IBA that why are you coming here? Put it on crowdfunding sites. You will get so much investment. These people will have an easier route of raising money because there are 10,000 people who take a risk on them.
Yeah.
We, as investors, have a problem looking for ideas.
And you know, you were saying earlier we're in for a quick buck. I may just add on to that. You would find the US aids and the World Banks investing in these young kids, and we would think, oh, there's some hot agenda. There's no agenda. That's what we need to do. Yeah. When we leave a vacuum, obviously they have to fill the gap. But we do leave the vacuum.
They are already filling the gap.
Which is unfortunate. Why are we leaving such a huge gap? Why are the 3 investment bankers sitting in front of me? Why are you guys leaving such a huge gap?
I think as we discuss all these opportunities, especially these formal structures which are operating all over the world, because these things, like as a step forward, like somebody, whether it's the government, primarily most of these things are being like starting from 1 or 2 individuals, then the state comes into the picture also, like to make these things move forward. So this thing has to happen, and I think like whether if the government is not even taking any steps, the private investor, they will come in. And what like you already telling these kids, like when they come out with their reports, their ideas, they should be openly discussing these things, putting these things on internet with full report, like their feasibility, their what they think about the prospects of the business, their costing, their everything. And when they present that to the marketplace, especially on the internet, they will get investors. So whether we have a formal structure in place, I think that will come in when people see these opportunities. But first of all, these kids will have to take the initiative. They will have to come out from this narrow perspective of looking for a job opportunities only. Yes. They have to start looking at doing some business.
I think they're not being left with a choice. The job opportunities are thinning.
This is like a new reality.
They have no choice but to.
Yeah.
And that I agree. And same as like this project, I have gone through a case. It's about the rice husk, which is usually being burned, and it's the byproduct of that was giving a return of more than roughly around 70-80%. I'm telling you, I still have the feasibility. The only thing, we are 4 people are here. You are an entrepreneur by nature. I mean, you are doing a good business. He is an investment banker. I did investment banking, but this one of the jam of the person in research and other things. Let's make a team. I mean, if you want to ask these kids to bring the projects. We'll market those projects in the market. I mean, we'll do. I'll provide the workforce to do the. To make the proper feasibilities to package the product. The most important thing is to package the product. I mean, they really don't know how to package the product.
Sure.
We'll provide the. Technical expertise and stuff. The only thing is, then these kids has to convey the message loud and clear that we are available here. I mean, not only we are. I mean, we can arrange. I mean, there are a lot of people who will join us.
There's a lot of people. Rasool, would you like to add something?
Yes, sir. Actually, you were talking about the opportunities that we are having in rural areas of Sindh especially. So I see so many areas to be, work done. Just like we have identified this thing that climate condition of especially rural areas can suit the business we are starting. So the irrigation system needs a lot of improvement, in which water irrigation system, just like drainage system, is not good. So different entrepreneurs of Pakistan, we hope, will work on that. So if I talk about our project, we offer even so many benefits to rural dwellers, just like byproduct offer, just like wastage of the input can be, sold to as a feed to the farms, chicken farms, and also to the fish owners. So it can be used as a food of fish and chicken. Secondly, the leaves left by the worms are also being, disposed properly, just like they are burned. Second thing that I want to add is trees that we grow in the garden have different sort of, long, what we call, where trees grown. So from that baskets can be made, which are sold in the market. So there are multiple earning sources to the villagers, along with what we are offering to them. So
basically, what you're saying is, see, the opportunities are just too many.
Sorry?
I want your closing notes as well. We're running out of time. And also, what's the next step?
Number one, why do you think I moved back to Pakistan? 2 years ago, when
money.
I first moved back, I've bought 4 companies so far. One of the best companies, InvestorGuide360.com, a brilliant idea. Sure. 95% of the investment banks are signed up on it. The research, getting over 4 million hits a month. Ideas are very many. I have invested in my personal capacity. Then I put together a company. So I'm investing in corporate capacity. If all of us, we don't have to go through that organized route. You put up a few lakh rupees, somebody else puts up a few lakh rupees. That's all kids like these and others are looking for, We all have risk capital in our portfolios. Every human being. The size of the risk capital may be different. Somebody can invest $1 million, somebody can invest $20,000. So what we need to do is just train these kids, number one, to present their ideas right, look for small investments, and tell them it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail, and they will succeed.
And it will take time.
It will take time. It
the number
will
of
take
times
time.
Steve Jobs went bankrupt.
My thing will be like, especially mostly the young students are there, going to, especially like business school, whether it's like the initial idea, like when in our age when we used to go, we used to think that we will get a job and do this thing. Nowadays, whenever you are going for a completion of your education at a master's level or whatever, the first thing which you should be looking at doing and starting your own business, that should be the first
assumption. There's no job.
That's one of the reality. It's a global phenomena. We just can't like
we just
ignore it.
People.
That's also one of the reality. So the first thing should be like, okay, there will be some job in good corporates, there will be job opportunity, but not every kid from college will be able to get a job. That's the reality. So mentally they should be ready that they should be started looking at those business opportunities from the day one when they are at the higher level, and they should start planning for that, because because you just can't afford to go out of school and then sit at home. You have to do and start business.
I would just like to mention, we have communities, I'm not going to take any name because this is joked about, in Pakistan who they're born with a knack of doing business.
Oh,
I will not even...
Boy,
not
do we know about those communities?
Ruthless.
And you're closely related to one also?
In my point of view, I've done some work on this. This type of stuff. and I believe that it has to be organized now. I mean, this. In
you mean
case
it can't just be random? It has
yes,
to. Right, okay.
it's not like that we just facilitate one or two. I mean, fortunate ideas. I mean, which basically come to us. It has to be. There should be a synchronization between the corporate, between the banks, between the asset management companies, between the educational institutions. We all have to work together. I mean, and we are ready to give the platform. Even if you would like to launch an angel and investor fund, bring the corporates and investors. We'll basically go and ask the regulators that let's set up a first angel investor fund. I mean, if we come up with 15 or 20 ideas and 10 of these type of ideas just go and become a success story.
A lot can be done.
A lot of. I mean, we can arrange them, we can market their project, we can package their project, we can bring the funds. I mean, it's
fantastic. Ahmed Saab, Bashar Saab, Saab, thank you. All of you, Rasool Saab and Sanjay, good luck to both of you, and you make us proud. It's young people like you who give us hope about the future of this country. I'm short and tight, so I can't really say much, but very quickly I would just say, look for these opportunities. We as the people who are in a position to do something today should look for these opportunities. There's not opportunities for us, they're opportunities for us, not for them. They will make the living. They will get the successes in time. It's an opportunity for us to help them today and become a part of this process, which is the growth process of Pakistan. That's the next time. Good night.